Another thing we didn't notice is throughout our lives, we've been seeing the train tracks of digital control built around us. So we've seen digital assets, digital transport, smart homes, driverless cars, QR codes, barcodes, digital elections, AI, digital IDs, smartphones. Each piece of this seems really convenient. And the problem is when you synthesize it together, it's like putting up three sides of a corral around a herd. When the fourth corral or the fourth fence clicks in, suddenly we're in a whole new world. And I want to talk about what that fourth line looks for. The first thing I do want to say, in the summer of 2024, I have a show every week on the Salary Report called Money and Markets, and I said to John Titus on Money and Markets, mark my words, the bankers, this was June 2024, the bankers have decided to put Trump in and use him to get the final pieces of the control grid. The conservatives are going to use election fraud and immigration and child online safety, and these other ruses, basically to force everybody into the digital ID they tried to get with vaccine certificates and didn't get to it. So as soon as the administration started, to my shock and amazement, they went at lightning speed to build the digital control grid, particularly the data centers. And the blizzard of actions were coming so fast and furious that I started to have to keep a list just to remember them. And finally, we put up a collection that we update every week. It's called the Fast Approaching Digital Control Grid at the Salary Report. And you can see the updated list to see what's coming together. Okay, so where is this all going? Where's the financial coup going? Our government in the United States is a balance of power between the bankers and the people's representatives. Since 1913, the Federal Reserve and the bankers, so the Federal Reserve is essentially, the train tracks are run by 12 private banks, which are privately owned by the banks. They run the financial train tracks, they run the sort of monetary policy. Then we have the people's representatives. We vote for representation. They determine the taxes and how those taxes will be spent, and it's implemented by the executive branch. So you have this balance of power. The bankers run monetary policy, and the people's representatives run fiscal policy. And that's what the revolution was all about. It was taxation with or without representation. Where they want to go is the bankers now want to control fiscal policy. With digital money, they have the technology now to institute control of both monetary and fiscal policy, and that is where they are going.